Okay, moves us to item 35. From Todd A. Francisco, President of Local 4 International Association of Firefighters, to speak regarding their perspective on the fiscal year 13 budget impact of the cuts within the fire department. Todd.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor and Council and Mr. Manager, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Todd Francisco. I'm currently the President of Local 4, the Des Moines Association of Firefighters. Address is P.O. Box 1821, Des Moines, Iowa. I come before you with 3 items on my agenda this evening. To summarize my letter to the Council on behalf of Local 4, you should have a copy of that. To put forth 2 items to the Council and to be available for any questions you may have. On 27 February 2012, the Council passed a proposed fiscal year 2013 budget. During that meeting, Councilman Coleman moved that the manager set up a monitoring system for that budget cuts to see how they affect service. That budget contained several cuts within the department. Those budget reductions have a direct impact on the public, the city, the department, and our members. Local 4 felt it would help to give our perceptions of the cuts and the impact our members are facing to help fulfill Councilman Coleman's request. Several cuts were made. However, we will constrain our conversation or ourselves to the reduction of personnel. On 2 April of 2012, Medic Units 6 and 4 were removed from service, which facilitated the creation of Medic 1. Medic Unit 6 was housed at 1919 Southeast 6th. Medic Unit 4 was housed at 917 University. Medic 1, the new medic, is currently housed at 900 Mulberry. Medic Units 4 and 6 were 2 of the busiest units in the city. With the merging of these 2 units, it is not difficult to infer the workload would intensify. The creation of Medic 1 from April to October 15th has averaged around 299 runs per month, approximately 44% more than the next busiest unit within the city. With the elimination of Medic Unit, we have seen an increase in the use of outside resources as well. Dispatch has had to call the private services like Mercy and Fraser ambulances when we run out of Medic units, and that's a reduction of possible income to the city. This extra workload has taken a toll to our internal customers and your #1 asset, your firefighters. After only 6 months of Medic 1 in existence, Chief DeKalb rotated crews due to the intensified workload. In my almost 23 years with the department, this is a first. I have growing concerns that once we rotate all the crews, what do we do next? Tridata was commissioned by the Council in 1997 to audit and give their input to the status of the Des Moines Fire Department. In 1997, they said we were as lean and mean as we could get and recommended the potential for expansion of the department due to the growth potential of the city. We have since annexed to the northeast and southeast substantially, as well as an agreement to provide EMS service to the Polk County Jail located outside the city. We have taken on greater service responsibilities with far less resources. If we were as lean as mean as we could get in 1997, and now the city has grown and the calls for services have increased, what are we today? Emaciated, I should think. Calls for service has steadily increased since the beginning of my tenure. When I started, we had roughly around 13,000 calls per year for service with roughly the same staffing levels as today. And now we're on track to break 20,000 calls for service this year. Our service to the city is personnel-based. In other words, it's the boots on the ground that will bandage the broken arm, extricate someone from an accident, and save someone's home from fire, and help your greatest asset, firefighters, to go home safe in the morning. Local 4 wanted to give our perspective to the Council's request for a follow-up report to the cuts. Worth noting, President Obama has released millions of dollars for awards under the SAFER grant, which is the Staffing for Adequate Fire and Emergency Response Grant Program. We missed another window in July for the federal SAFER grants, where, if awarded, could have given some release to the city and the department and put a medic unit or more back in service to protect the citizenry and our #1 asset, firefighters. That brings me to my second agenda item. Although Councilman Coleman's remarks were to have periodic reviews on how the budget cuts were affecting the department, I have come to understand that the normal practice is to review these cuts around when the budget hearing or the budget's in or the budget year ends. My understanding that's the normal practice. I recognize that, and that may be the practice, but I feel a review sooner is needed. So I asked the Council to authorize a review of the current budget impact on our internal and external customers utilizing the Chief's leadership with Local 4's assistance and participation. On my second item, I urge the Council to consider the SAFER grant program during its next enrollment period. I thank you again for allowing me to speak this evening. Our relationship with the council has always been strong and a positive one. I look forward to the continued open communication with the council addressing our concerns. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor.
Hensley?
One question, sir. You gave an address as a post office box. Is that your address? Is that?
That's the local's address,
And what's your address?
4067 113th Avenue, Greenfield Township.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I'll make the motion to receive and file the comments made.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Thanks for all your service.
Mr. Moore.
I'd like to make an amendment to that motion. I would like to refer it to the manager for a report back on some of the concerns that are in here.
That's fine, as long as it goes back to, is there an appropriate time level?
I think if you give us whatever you'd like to have from the waiver response back is fine with me. It could be
I guess
30 days is fine in order to go through a thorough review of it.
I guess what I would suggest is, based upon the comments made, that we do it during the budget process, because that's when we would get the information.
That's fine.
Is that appropriate?
This is very
When
appropriate.
is the budget process?
Mr. Moore, council members, you typically take action on the budget in February, sometimes late February, early March, at the very latest, and your budget discussions typically will result in some policy direction in January sometime, about that time frame.
There's some health and welfare concerns in here that I think we need to report quicker than that.
Well, he's going to report back 30 days. Good.
How about if I give you a response back in 30 days, and then in terms of your deliberation, my suggestion would be that you would take it up as part of your budget process. It's only in the context
Okay.
of budget review that you can make sense of it, but I'm happy to give you our review of the suggestions back within 30 days.
It's fine.
That's fine.
7 yes.
Takes us to item 36, speakers regarding the Beaverdale Avenue Streetscape Project.